Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Task 52. We are going to create a model of the base of a screwdriver case. Basically this blue area here. It is going to have a pentagon at the very base. It's going to have more of a cylindrical shape at the top because it's going to meet up with a cylindrical cover. But we're only modeling the base. So Task 52, just as a reminder, you are going to want to show dimensions on sketch 1 when you submit, please, and make sure that your name is visible in your screenshot. As always, in this case, we will be etching our name into our object. So just to give you an overview, we are going to start, like I said, with a pentagon, and we're going to gradually use some extrusions and a loft to build up this shape to create a base that will ultimately be a screwdriver holder. So let's get started. We are going to start a new file in OnShape. So make sure you are in your classwork folder, and see, I'm in my classwork folder here. We're going to create a new document. I'm calling mine Task52 with my name. You can use your name, of course. And we're going to start with a new sketch on the top plane. So here's my new sketch on the top. I'm going to look at it from the direction of the top. And we're going to start by creating an inscribed polygon centered on the origin. And as we bring it out, we're going to make it a 5-sided shape or a pentagon. That's fine. And the diameter should be 1.75. That's the diameter of this circle, right? The circle that's tangent and inside the polygon. We also want to use the horizontal constraint to set our pentagon in this kind of very symmetrical, leveled out orientation. So once you have your pentagon and you have the bottom end horizontal, you can accept your sketch. Let's look at it in the isometric view. We are going to do an extrusion. So we're using our extrude tool. It is a solid and a new shape. We're going to extrude from the face of sketch 1 over here, and the depth, which kind of looks like height here, the amount that we're extruding, the distance will be 0.25, a quarter of an inch. We are also going to use something new today called a draft. A draft is the angle at which you might be angling your extrusion, so that at the base maybe you're a little bit bigger, and then as you move up you might be getting smaller or even bigger. So in our case we're going to do a 45-degree draft. You'll really see it. And right now the direction looks like it's going out. You can kind of see that. We're going to make it go in. Because again, we're going for the way this base looks on the bottom here. We're doing that little shape right there. So we are going in. We can accept our accept our extrusion, and here's how it looks. Next step is we're going to do another extrusion to make the shape even taller. We are going to extrude from the face of extrude 1, like that. This time the height is going to be 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75 inches. And we're going to use a draft again, but this time it won't be nearly as pronounced. We're going to use a 3-degree draft. And once again, we're going to change the direction so that we are getting smaller as we get a little bit higher. All right, so this looks good. You should see solid highlighted. You should see add highlighted. Face of extrude 1, 0.75 is the depth. Let's go. Great. We are next going to use something called offset surface. So mine is right here. You might have it buried in a menu here under one of these items. So find yourself the offset surface tool. We are going to offset from the face of extrude 2, for this top polygon here, and we're going to set the offset distance to 0.1. That works. So if you have this, you can accept. Great. Next, we're going to make a new sketch right on that offset surface. And I'm going to look at things from the top so we can look right at what we're sketching. We are going to sketch a circle centered on the origin right here. And the size of our circle will be a diameter of 1.1 inches. So that takes this circle almost tangent to the pentagon, but not quite. So if you have sketched your circle with a diameter of 1.1 inches, you can accept your sketch. Okay, let's take a look. Great. So this offset here is just kind of floating above the base. You can see it's not quite attached yet. We're going to attach using something called a loft. Before we do, I'm going to use this eye here to hide our offset surface so that we'll really have a clear look at the circle we sketched. You can kind of see the circle here. Great. We're going to use the loft tool, which you can find not too far from the extrude tool. We want to have a loft from the face of extrude 2. That's going to be the bottom of the loft. So try to highlight, going to zoom in a little bit, exactly this pentagon here at the top of the base. That's the bottom of our loft. And then the top of our loft is the circle. So once you have those two selected, you're in good shape. You should see solid highlighted here. You should see add. And you should see that the face of extrude 2 is the first item. Face of sketch 2 is the second item. Great, we're almost there. Next, we are going to do another extrusion from the face of loft 1. And the depth this time is going to be 1/2 inch or 0.5. Once again, we're going to use a draft of 3 degrees. And again, we want it to angle inward. So we're changing the direction by clicking on this arrow. So let's just check. You should have a solid highlighted, add highlighted. We're extruding the face of loft 1, 1/2 inch with a draft of 3 degrees. Getting smaller as you get taller, drafting inward. So if you have all of that, you can go ahead and accept extrude 3. There it is. We have another step for our shape. We're going to make this top edge here a little bit rounded using the fillet tool, which is over here. So I'm going to click on all of the areas that I want to fillet right around, yes, that cylinder. And I want to set the radius to 0.1 inches. That works very well. So if you don't yet, make sure this value here is 0.1 inches. And at that point, you can accept your sketch, or accept your fillet, I guess. So this is where we're going to stop. You can go ahead and etch your name into the figure, and make sure when you submit, you are showing dimensions on sketch 1. So that means highlight sketch 1, right click and choose show dimensions. And that just clarifies what size your pentagon was at the very beginning. All right, good luck with the project.